and I'm somebody that has been living with HIV now for more than 20 years. So when I go out and I tell people that I've been living with the virus for 20 years, people pause and look at me and say, "You look like somebody who's got HIV," and I'm like, how am I supposed to look? AIDS, like fella used to say, no dey show for face. With drugs, you can actually live a healthier life than somebody who doesn't have the virus.
Hello my people, welcome back to Favorite Riri TV. Yes, so we'll be talking about Bisi Alimi, the Nigeria LGBTQ activist. He opens up about living with HIV for 20 years, sharing his journey of resilience and hope. He highlights how growing up in Mushin taught him never to give up. Despite the challenges he faced, this inspiring story is a testament to courage, strength, and perseverance. So guys, watch till the end. Don't forget to like, comment, and most especially, share for others to see. Love you all.
My name is Bisi Alimi, and I am a British Nigerian. I love to say that. And I live in London, and I shuttle between Lagos and London. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an investor as well, and I'm somebody that has been living with HIV now for more than 20 years. So I'm a combination of so many things, and I think this boils down to where I come from. You know, I'm from Mushin, and there's a saying that we have about Mushin people: we don't sleep. We're very industrious, we're very enterprising, and I think we're also quite determined in seeing a fairer and better world. And I think that has in a way informed what I do, who I am, and where I see myself going on this life journey. You know, that journey started in a very, very sad way. I was growing up, I was in Unilag, I was studying theater arts, and all I wanted to be was just to be an actor. And it was my third year, I think, second or third year. I can't really remember very well. I remember now. It was my second year in uni. And my friend and I had faced a disciplinary committee in Unilag because we're being accused of being gay. And it was quite a very painful experience for both of us. But him in particular, because he was the one that was accused, and because we were friends, I got roped in. We were very, very close. And that broke him deeply. And so we ended that semester. He was not himself, because it was such a, he came from a very well-known family in Lagos. And it was too much for him to handle. And we went away. I went to Ibadan, and then I came back because that's where my father is from. And then I came back. I spent about a few days there, and I came back to Lagos. And that was when I was told he's been in the hospital. And this is long before you have, you know, mobile phone. I'm talking about 2000. It was 2002. And so that time, you know, you have to be rich for you to have a mobile phone and buy credit. It's not like now that everybody's got a phone. And I went to the hospital to see him, and he was a ghost of himself. It was really a ghost of himself, and I was shocked. And that was the first time I would come really, really close to someone who's got AIDS. Now, it wasn't as if that was the first time I would see someone, but that was the first time I'll come close. But also was the first time I would hear somebody saying, I have, right? People that I knew at that time would deny it, or I know people that have HIV, but I've never met someone who had AIDS. And a few weeks after that encounter, he died of AIDS complication. It was a year younger than me. And it was painful. It was really painful, and I didn't know how to process that or how to handle that. And so I found an organization called Alliance Rights Nigeria then, and they were based in Ibadan, and I was really curious. So I started a journey of understanding what HIV is, what AIDS is, what all of these things are, and how it's killing a lot of young men in Lagos at that time. Because there was no week in Lagos we would not have a burial of a young person. It was that bad. And I think it was when I was reading and trying to understand that I realized that, oh, wait a minute. I've had this kind of symptoms before. But I don't think I was bold enough to accept that maybe, it was something that happened to other people. We were not expecting it to happen to us. And so I started volunteering for Alliance Rights. And in 2004, I was attending the 4th National AIDS Conference in Abuja. And that was where a few of my friends, and so many of them, they were icons of HIV activism in Nigeria, encouraged me to go for an HIV test. I didn't really want to go, but they really pushed me, because if I say push me, it would look a little bit manipulative, but they didn't manipulate me to test. They empowered me and, encouraged me to. This has been 2 years of my work in HIV, providing condom, lubricants, providing, doing training for being across Southwest Nigeria on HIV. I couldn't even bring myself to go and test, supporting people to test, but I couldn't bring myself to test. And that day I did the test and it came back positive. And I was really upset. I was really angry with myself. And I remembered I went back to my hotel room and I was in tears. But something happened that day. There was an event in the evening and I've promised I was going to come. So I went to that event and it was by this lady called, I still remember her very well. And as at that time, she had been living with the virus for 18 years. And she sat me down and she spoke with me. And that conversation I had with her changed my life completely. And I made a decision that I wanted to leave. For what? I don't know. But I said, you know what? If you can live 18 years with this virus, let me live 18 years. If that's all I'll get from it, I'm very happy. And that then started this new relationship I started building with myself, with HIV, with that knowledge of HIV, and reading more and, talking more about it, and, going on a journey of accepting my new reality. We still think that if things happen to people, it's God's punishment, right? And we also have to think about the ways the majority of people who are living with the virus contract the virus. They contract it through something we do, but we don't talk about that we do them. So you see a woman walking down on the street pregnant, you never ask her, how did she get pregnant, right? She got pregnant because she had sex, right? So sex is a taboo in our society, and it's something we all do, but we all don't talk about. And because HIV is contracted by sex, so when somebody says that they are HIV positive, we see them as a prostitute, or we see them as people that sleep around. We see them as this, that. The first thing is we judge the means of transmission. And if we can demystify the major means of transmission, because sex is not the only way we get HIV, but if we can demystify the major route of transmission, that having sex is okay and it's fine, and it's okay, but you can make a decision the kind of sex you want to have, and have it in a way that doesn't put you at risk. That is one. Two is the fact that we need to continue to put faces to HIV. I think one of the biggest challenge we faced when the virus was endemic was the fact that we presented it with the skull and the two bones, and we presented HIV people as skinny, emaciated, dying, and for generation to generation to generations, we've passed down this image consciously, unconsciously to people. So when I go out and I tell people that I've been living with the virus for 20 years, people pause and look at me and say, "You don't look like somebody who's got HIV." And I'm like, how am I supposed to look? So there is an expectation, and that expectation comes with shame. So we need to say that AIDS, like fella used to say, no they show for face, right? It doesn't show a lot of time. And with drugs, you can actually live a healthier life than somebody who doesn't have the virus, right? And then we have to talk about religion, the role that religion has played, and the role that religion is playing in stigmatization. We can't remove it. I would love to have a church that talks positively about the advance in HIV biomedicals, in research, and say, you know what, this thing is not a death penalty like it used to be. You know, you can take your drugs, you can get on with your life. Increasingly, we are having churches who are telling people, come, we will cure you of these things. And that is very important, because when we use the word cure means you've been afflicted with something, and we want to exorcise you of it. And that affliction is evil. You know, you can start unpacking this word. So the moment as a Christian, when I get HIV, the first thing I would do is to say, I have sinned. I've been cursed. I'm inflicted. I'm afflicted. Oh God, what has happened to me? I don't see that, okay, this has happened. There's a drug I can take. And if I take that drug, I'm going to be okay. And we need to also talk about HIV within the realm of talking about diabetes. You know, talking about what about those diseases that you manage, right? You can manage them and you can get on with your life, take your pills, get on with your life, and life is good. So there are so many things we need to do. And finally, I think we need a more intentional government intervention in the area of education, right? To educate people on demystifying and destigmatizing HIV, both infection, prevention, and treatment. Every year that the What Is There has come up with a theme, it has been very strong call to action. And I'm particularly, interested in this year's theme. Is telling us after over 30 years, going to 40 years now, of patient zero, and the advancements in biomedical as well as social science intervention when it comes to HIV, that it's time now to really think about the position of people who are living with HIV and the decisions they have to make about their own health and how much control that they have in that. I live in a society in the UK where I have close to about 98% control over the medication that I take when I see my doctors, the kind of conversation I can have with my doctors, and how empowering those conversations are. And before my doctor, I changed my medication about a year ago, and it took my doctor 3 years to convince me to change my medication. And it still boils down to me making the decision if I want to change that medication or not. It was never forced on me. And I think that this is why the theme for this year means so much to me as someone who is living with the virus, that I need to be in control of my own health. I need to be in control of the decisions that I have to make, that I have to affect, the quality of the kind of life that I want to live. So my advice is, one, no, your life has not come to an end. Maybe the life that you used to live without HIV has come to an end. But you're now starting a new life with HIV. One that is going to dramatically change the way you interact with yourself. And there's a reason for this. Every 6 months, I see my doctor. This is a privilege I have as somebody who is living with HIV, that somebody who is not living with HIV doesn't have. I know a lot of my friends that have not been to a doctor in 3, 4, 5 years. Right? I go to see my doctor every 6 months, and within that 6 months, if anything happens health-wise, my doctor can quickly pick it up. I can quickly go for, interventions and all of this. There was a particular time where there was a cancer scar. I just felt like my doctor felt like, oh, I think we're noticing something. There's something in your blood. We feel like it might be this, it might be that. And I quickly went and I did, screening, and I realized, oh, it was nothing, right? But what if it had been cancer and I'm not HIV positive? I'm never going to know until it gets to a point where it's terminal. And so I always tell people that, every good thing, quote and unquote, and I say good thing, always comes with something. Every bad thing always comes with something good, right? 2, take your medication. It's very, very important that you take your drugs when you're supposed to take it and how you're supposed to take it. If you're to take it with food, take it with food. If you're not supposed to take it with food, don't take it with food. If you're supposed to take your drugs at night before you go to bed, if you're supposed to take it in the daytime, always build, I will say, my drug is my first love, right? Because it's what keeps me alive to make my relationship with my partner meaningful, right? So build a wonderful relationship with your medication. Number 2 is read up. Read. You're never too knowledgeable, right? Read up, because when you know for fact certain things about your health, when you're meeting your doctor, you can say, oh, doctor, I just read up, there's a new drug and I've read up about it. What do you think? Do you think that new drug will be good for me? What are the benefits of that new drug? So for example, I was on 3 pills up until almost 18 months ago. And my doctor says, oh, I want to put you on 1 pill. And I said, so tell me, what is this 1 pill? He said, okay, it might make you add weight, it might make you do this, it might do this to you, it might do this to you. But the benefit is just 1 pill, you pop it and that's fine. And I had to go home, I had to read up on the new pills. And I have to do a comparison between the pill I was on at that time and the pill my doctor is trying to introduce to me. And based off of that, I realized, okay, you know what? Getting on the new pill is actually better for me than staying on the old pill. These are some of the things you need to do, because your health is very important to you, and you have the 100% control. No matter what your doctor is saying, you have the 100% control over what you take. And I think the third one, the fourth one I want to say is never let what anyone say get to you. Oh my God. If you go on my social media and the nasty things Nigerians say, very nasty things about me being HIV positive and attacking me, and I always say to them, you're 20 years late to insult me that I'm living with HIV, because I have insulted myself, I have blamed myself, I have cried, now I have come out reborn. There is nothing anybody can say about me living with HIV that's going to make me feel bad or feel sad. But not everyone is like me. So never let what people say bring you down. Don't pay attention to them. And I always say this, you are positive. You don't need to worry about being positive anymore. There's so many people in this country that are not enjoying a full, meaningful sexual life because they are afraid of getting HIV. You don't have to worry yourself anymore. You just have to find a way to treat it and live a very healthy life, because the future is promised.
Thank you all for watching. Hello, welcome back. I am here to give general advice for people living with HIV. The most important step after diagnosis is taking antiretroviral therapy every day as prescribed. Consistent treatment keeps the viral load low or undetectable, protect your immune system, and allow you to live a long, healthy life. Remember, that is undetectable, untransmittable. When your viral load is undetectable, you cannot pass HIV sexually. Keep your medical appointments. Regular checkups helps your healthcare provider monitor your viral load, CD4 count, and general health. Never hesitate to report new symptoms or concerns. Protect your mental health. Living with HIV can bring emotional stress. It's important to talk to someone you trust. Seek counseling or support group. Avoid isolation. Practice self-compassion. A strong mindset improves treatment outcomes. Support your immune system with a balanced diet, regular exercise, adequate sleep, avoid smoking, hard drugs, and excessive alcohol. This habit helps your body handle treatment better. You don't have to walk the journey alone. Support can come from friends, family, healthcare workers, HIV support group, online or offline. Surrounding yourself with understanding people makes your life very easy. Stress can weaken the immune system. Try activities that calm your mind. Prayer or meditation, deep breathing, music, hobbies you enjoy. HIV is a medical condition, not an identity or a punishment. Many people are living full, successful lives, working, marrying, raising families, and achieving their dreams. Your value as a person does not change. Learn the facts about HIV so you don't fall for myths or fear. Being informed helps you make better health decisions and advocate for yourself. Practice safe sex even if your viral load is undetectable. Using protection builds safety and trust, especially if your status is unknown to your partner. HIV is no longer a death sentence. With treatment and support, people living with HIV can live normal lifespans, build families, and enjoy fulfilling lives. Your journey is one of strength, not shame. I love you all. Bye bye.